Hello and welcome back to the Apex Motorsport. I'm Ryan, and in today's video I take a look at the top 5 moments from the 2022 MotoGP season. One of the biggest moments of the season happened in pre-season testing, which saw both Yamaha and Ducati riders unsettled with their machinery for the upcoming season. For Yamaha, it saw rider Quartararo show an immediate downfall in their lack of top speed on the straights, which was not fully resolved, meaning every race from then on, he had to dive deeper and carry more speed in the corners and really get his elbows out. For Ducati, they had to use 3 different spec bikes on 2 different frames/chassis across the 4 teams, as they initially developed a new engine for the factory team, but later resorted back to a previous setup as rider Bagnaia did not like the feel of their new bike's engine setup. The other customer teams either ran the GP21 or the GP22 bike, depending on how their riders felt and what advantages they differed between to choose the most suitable for them for the up and coming season. The Argentine Republic Motorcycle Grand Prix saw Espargo take the fight to the Ducati teams. He managed to secure himself pole position that weekend and managed to keep hold of that lead the whole way through the race, staying out in front of his fellow Spaniards, George Martin on the Ducati and Alex Rins on the Suzuki. It was a tough and tight battle in some corners. Espargo then went on to win the race, which would be his only race win, but also Aprilia's only win of the season too. This just shows that any rider on any given day can have a phenomenal race weekend when all odds are stacked against you. Francesco Bagnaia, going into the 9th round of the season, was questioning himself whether a championship title is even possible after 2 poor performances in Indonesia and Portugal and 2 retirements, first in Qatar at the beginning of the season and again in round 7 in France. Although winning the Italian Grand Prix in Mugello, it still saw him behind on points by an increasing margin. Going into the race weekend at Catalunya, he managed to qualify P2 behind Alex Espargo. Come to the race did not start well. Heading into turn 1, Taka Nakagami smashed into both Bagnaia and Alex Rins, wiping out all 3 of them and clearing the path for Fabio Quartararo to clear off and take the 25 incredibly valuable points. Now, this left the title over 50 points gap between the 2 riders. The championship battle has been very tight, and just when it was looking really promising for Quartararo and Alex Espargo until the 11th round at the Dutch TT. The race should have been very straightforward for Yamaha's Quartararo, given Assen, the Dutch TT, is known for its fast and flowing nature, making passing on a higher top speed bike a lot easier. If given the opportunity to stay out in front, it would have seen him break away from the pack and win with ease. However, it did not go quite like this. Quartararo made contact with rival opponent Espargo, taking them both out onto the grass, which led the Ducati of Bagnaia to pass through and claim the victory. Espargo, fortunately for himself, managed to catch up the back of the pack and finish in 4th. From this point on, Bagnaia won the next 3 rounds of the championship, taking out Espargo. In hindsight, was probably the worst thing to happen to Quartararo's championship chances of lifting the title. When it comes down to a title fight and the closing Grand Prix, it's impossible to win a title until your lead is greater than your rivals' potential points left to gain. It is, however, very, very likely that you could end up losing a championship due to one mistake, however. In the 18th round at the Australian Grand Prix at Phillip Island, this is exactly what happened. The track was favourable for the Yamahas on paper, and Quartararo only needed to keep himself in the top 8 to keep his title fight alive. The pressure of this title fight must have gotten to him, as during the race he ran deep into the Miller hairpin on lap 4. After dropping 5 places after gaining 2 at the start of the race, he then found himself in 22nd place, well outside of the points. He further went on then to climb up to 15th after an incident between Jack Miller and Alex Marquez, which he didn't see out for long, as on lap 11 the bike slipped from underneath him and was out of the race, leaving his main rivals Bastianini and Bagnaia to place ahead of him in the points. Yamaha teammate Morbidelli crashed on lap 22 and was unable to continue the race. the whole weekend was a bust for Yamaha in their bid to score points. It also left Quartararo 14 points behind Bagnaia in the championship. Thank you for watching today's video on the top 5 MotoGP moments of 2022. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like down below, as well as subscribe if you like our content and want to see more. I hope to see you again in the future. Goodbye.